Looooooove, everybody. Why am I doing that accent? I don't know. Let's just do it properly. Welcome back, everybody, to Thumb Sheltered. Now, I did not want to do this video today because I wanted to do a different video. I wanted to do a KSP video. No, let's put this back into ordinary speed. Nope, no. Where's ordinary speed? Nope. Where the fuck is... Am I just going too fast? Yes, I'm just going too fast. Sorry for that. It's been a while since I played this game. I actually wanted to do a different video today. I wanted to do like a KSP video because there's been a new update. So let's get you back inside, you idiot. There's been a new like visual update and some tweaking and stuff. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a KSP video because recently on an old save, which is now gone, I had to delete the old save because I wanted to create a new save because I wanted to start making some KSP videos again. What I did was I built, and this is on my old save, I posted to Reddit, was I made two things, well technically three things, but two things that actually worked and one thing that didn't really work, from the old Soviet era space program, which was I made a Sputnik, which the Stay Putnik body has just had a revamp for, which a lot of the stuff in the game has actually just had a really awesome revamp. Let's just check. Yeah, right, okay, get that clean. Oh, shite. Oh, no, he's perfectly fine. I'll go in storage, yeah. But yeah, no, so, like, I made a Sputnik, a really good Sputnik, because in the actual Sputnik, there was, like, a generator, there was a transmitter, there was a cooling fan, there was all this kind of stuff, and what I managed to do was I managed to actually shove all this stuff into a Sputnik, a Stay Putnik thing, which I called Dutnik, I think I called it, something like that. I set up a really stupid name for it, and launched that up, and it just basically did what Sputnik did, was, you know, orbited the planet for, I think Sputnik only did it for like 66 days or something before it died. I can't remember how long Sputnik stayed up for, but Sputnik was awesome, and I love all things space, so I thought, feck it, I'll send up a Sputnik. So I sent up a Sputnik, and I was like, you know what, I want to send up a new thing. So what I sent up was a Soyuz, I almost said a Soyuz then, I don't know how they pronounce it, a Soyuz capsule, which was, fucking Jesus Christ, I've been drinking too much fizzy pop, my stomach's grumbling. I sent up this Soyuz, and the Soyuz was what is currently used as an escape and re-entry vehicle on the ISS, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I sent that up, and it was also used in the first space station, which was not Mir, because that was the first space station. This was before Space Lab. I can't remember its name now. But basically it was like the Russians. Like the Americans made it to the moon, the Russians were the first people to have a satellite-style thing in space, basically. Not a satellite, a station. So they had this three-man crewed little thing that was up there, and like it was a big body, which then had a Soyuz attached onto it. And I'm pretty sure everybody on that mission died. I think so. So I don't know. I remember there was a Russian mission where everyone died, and Yuri Gagarin, the first guy to leap out of a rocket and parachute back down to the planet, so the first guy in space, I believe, actually. He died on that, I believe, which was kind of sad because Yuri was awesome. Let's see what we've got. So I sent one of them up, right? So, oh, perfect. So I sent that up and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to post that to the RPF. Not the RPF, that's the Replica Prop Forum. I sent it up to Reddit, and everyone really liked it. So if any of the guys on Reddit are watching this, thank you very much. We had a blast of a conversation, and they also got to see the fact that I sent a wheelchair into space. Yes, I sent a wheelchair into space. I launched a wheelchair out of the Kerbin system, like completely and utterly out, not to a different planet or to a different orbit around the planet. Literally out. It was gone. It was heading into deep space. So deep it had feelings for everybody else. And that was so much fun. Like, I love doing stupid shit in Kerbal Space Program. But then what I decided to do, do you know what, you need to go up, have we got this? Yeah, how much is in that? Let me have a quick check. 6. Okay, you can go up and get that, because I wanted to capture that, annoyingly. So, the Soyuz I sent up just had, I think it had Jeb in it. It either had Jeb or Bill, and like, it was really fun taking pictures of that. And by the way, you can actually check out the post that I did. I'll put the link to him in the description down below, so you can check that out. She has radiation poisoning because I'm an idiot and didn't send her up there with a fucking thing. How many anti-rads have I got? That's the thing. I have 5. Cool. Quick, take an anti-rad so you don't die. My daughter? Yeah, Sandra. Who are you? You're Matthew. And he's feeling okay. And that's Beardy. So, yeah, so, so I sent that Soyuz up, and let's approach these guys. And that was fun. Like, that one went off. See, the Sputnik, right, the Sputnik that I sent up and the Soyuz that I sent up went off without a goddamn hitch. It was unbelievable. Like, normally when I send something up... Oh, I thought she was going to attack then. So normally every time I send something up in KSP, something falls off, or something blows up, or it doesn't reach where it's supposed to reach, and all this kind of stupid stuff normally happens in KSP with me. So I was kind of happy that it actually worked. And the Sputnik only went up to... I think I sent it up to 110 kilometers. So it was... Kerbin's atmosphere is what? 70. Like, you exit Kerbin's atmosphere, it's 70 kilometers. Do I want anything else out of here? To be honest, I want the food, but I've got the freezer and I capture stuff, so that should be fine. So yeah, so it was what? So it was 40 kilometers outside of like I'm pretty sure 80 is orbit. 80 or 90 is orbit on KSP, which is good because how are you doing? You can actually, I'll send someone to repair you. So you can. Okay, you don't need repairing. Oh, do you? I need to do something. Seriously, I need to do something. Can we clean? Yes, we can clean. So yeah, so the Sputnik went up without a hitch, and the cool thing is, right, I sent the Sputnik up, and I even recovered the launch system that I sent it up with. Like that, it worked perfectly. I was so happy. And then I sent up the Soyuz, and I tried to recreate the Soyuz down to the T. So I tried to make it as most accurate as I possibly could, which involved me doing some really weird things with like fairings and all this kind of crap, which I'd never really done before. So I was just looking into it. And I know, by the way, that most of this game is me just talking over gameplay. But this game is kind of slow. So I really want to talk about this. So I sent the Sputnik up, and by the way, no, quick, before I say anything, right, I learned something today, really, really, really important, right, when it comes to space. So we know that when you leave the atmosphere, there's like, when you're in space, there's nothing, right? So that's why you're weightless in space, because you've got no resistance, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you get it. There's nothing up there to stop you. Like we have gravity that acts on us. There's not really much gravity up there. You know, you're basically in a free fall when you do stuff. But what I did learn today is when the first space station, I'm doing space station in quotes, right? So when the first, that Russian thing that I was telling you about, when that went up, that went up to a point where you have to achieve orbital velocity, right? So that keeps you in orbit. But the thing is, when you're actually up there, there is air molecules really, really, really far up, like tiny, 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 tiny amounts, right? So even though there's like really small amounts, the ship's still got to, like, the station's still got to push through them, and it causes it to very gradually slow down, right? So they came up with like these chemical rockets that they could just put itself back in space. Like it went and it'd push itself up a little bit more, and it'd stay in orbit, which is really awesome. Like I learned, like the thing I was going to say, which was awesome, was I learned that there is, small air molecules in space. So for me in KSP, which I don't think it has, but it'd be really awesome if it did, to get this Sputnik up into space and this Soyuz was really awesome, and the fact that they stayed there, and that I was like, yes. So what I really wanted to do, because I launched the Sputnik just on a rocket, like just random balls to the wall rocket. It was nothing accurate, right? The Sputnik was the only thing accurate. The rocket that went up was just a bunch of rockets to get it into orbit and then to bring the launch system back down. So I was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's awesome. The cat needs fixing, doesn't it? The cat needs fixing. Cat needs feeding. Fix the cat. All right. So yeah, so that was also. So what I wanted to do then is, the system at the minute that we use to launch astronauts to the ISS is the Soyuz rocket which is actually recently just had a real problem with it, which is kind of bad. But luckily, no one died or anything like that. So that was, you know, awesome. Way to go, guys, on that. So it was. Oh, I want that leather. Damn it! But I need everything. Damn it, even more. All right, screw it. Just come back. So where was I? Oh yeah, so the thing is, right, the thing we use at the minute, we use the Soyuz rocket, and what it is, it's like just an ordinary rocket, and then it's got these 4 boosters on the side. So like, you use the boosters to get up, and I think it's in 3 parts. So the boosters come off, then you've got your main like body engine, which gets you a little bit further up, and then you've got your one that helps you orbit, and then that's it. Like the Soyuz itself has got a tiny little putt-putt engine. And I love saying a little putt-putt engine because it basically is a little putt-putt engine right at the back of the ship. Probably just for orbital stuff to keep it in orbit, because it, you know, you gradually... the thing that people sometimes forget about space is that when you're up there, you're actually falling. You don't just go up and then there's nothing. It's, you know, you're actually falling towards the planet, but because you're so far away from the planet, as you fall, you miss the planet. And then you orbit it by basically falling. So, but the thing is, you know, like I said earlier, there's stuff up there that can actually kind of make you come down. So I think if you get high enough up, you're perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about that shit. I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist. Where is the guy? Oh, he's almost back. Okay. Oh, well, he's almost back. So what's the point of me recalling him? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to build this Soyuz rocket and launch up a second section that I could attach to my Soyuz capsule that was already up there and build the first station that was up there, because I love recreate. Like, I've recreated the Apollo mission and just recently spent 2 hours recreating in as much detail as I physically possibly annoyingly wanted to gouge my eyes out could the Saturn V rocket, including the way it was staged, its payload, its internal mechanism. So like, instead of there being a body of just like a rocket, because on KSB you can have fuel tanks, instead of that I did what the actual Apollo capsule has, and that is a service bay which has got all the stuff in it. So yeah, it was awesome. I love recreating it. I love recreating stuff like that. It's goddamn diggly fun. So I did that, and then I was like, right, I want to send up, it's not Skylab, it came before Skylab, right, because Skylab was the American one. So I wanted to send up this the first Russian station. So I was like, right, well, the way I want to do this is, I don't think the Russians actually used a Soyuz rocket to launch this thing that connected to the Soyuz and created the first station. Don't think they did that. But I wanted to use this. I wanted to build a Soyuz rocket. So at the same time, if I wanted to, I could also launch a Soyuz. I want to say Soyuz for some reason, like soluble. But so I could launch my own Soyuz rocket and its capsule again, because the Soyuz is what's used on the ISS as an escape vehicle, or a pod, or whatever you want to call it. Like, everybody runs to the Soyuz to get out, even though it holds 3 people. I'm sure it only holds 3 people. But yeah, no, like the Soyuz actually attach onto the station as, like, that's how people get up there and come back down, which is awesome. And the Soyuz is a really weird looking craft as well, so it was actually kind of hard to recreate, even though there are historical accurate parts in there. How are you doing? I'm going to send you out on an expedition, and you will be the last expedition I send for this episode. So I'm just going to send you up there, because I don't know what's there. You can have that, and that, and that. There you go. Off you pop. So yeah, so I wanted to build the rocket. So like I said, it's 4 boosters, a main body. Right, I want to say an orbital rocket, which would help you get into orbit, and then the Soyuz itself would circularize its orbit. I don't know. Like I said, not a rocket scientist. So that's what I want to do. And I actually built it, right? But I built a scaled down version of it because I wanted to test all... Like, every time I build a rocket, I basically build a miniature version of it, and then when I've built the miniature version, if it works, then I will go like full scale, basically. It's like what people do with props and all this kind of... You build small scale and then move on to big scale. Same with experiments, all this fun stuff. So I built like a really small one, and that was the one I posted onto Reddit, right? So I didn't build a full scale big version of it. Am I running out of fuel in this thing? Yes, I am. Add fuel when you're done. We have 11, so you can add 2. So I only built a miniature one, which, funnily enough, in the picture I took of it, had a secondary Sputnik module, Sputnik satellite in it, because I wanted to send up multiple, it's hard to explain. I wanted to send up multiple versions of a Sputnik, because they can communicate, and you can also kind of use them as relays if you set up a little relay dish, which I did on the one that I was going to launch, but never did launch because now it's been deleted. Because on KSP, if your ship moves out of the range of the Kerbal Command Center, or the Space Center, or whatever, you can't control some of the stuff because the computer needs to hook up to the main computer back at the Space Center. So I was like, right, cool, okay, I want to accept that transmission. A small farm, ooh, perfect, and we're going to catch it. Yes, there we go, we caught it. So what I wanted to do was, you know, I wanted to do all this stuff, because when in real life, what we have is we have something called line of sight, which if you've watched Independence Day, you'll know is a big thing. So line of sight is you can only communicate, because the Earth is a circle, you can only communicate so far, and then, you know, you can't shoot a beam of radio waves to the opposite side of the planet, because, you know, you'd have to go through the planet, and you can't do that. So yeah, so line of sight was a thing. So I was going to send up a bunch of different my mind has gone blank. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was going to send up a bunch of different Sputniks to act as like line of sight, and then I was going to send up 4 to the moon as well. Even though I think we've got 9 up at the minute to communicate with the ISS at like a 95% continuous transmission. So I wanted to do that, and I've on previous saves and previous versions of the game, I've sent up like a Voyager style, and a Voyager is the first deep space probe we ever sent. Like that's gone. They made a Star Trek movie about it, which is probably where the Borg comes from, knowing me and all that kind of shit. But I wanted to do like I've made a Voyager probe and sent it off, and I've used similar. Basically I love recreating like real life stuff because it's fun and awesome, and yeah. But then I realized, you know, there's been a new update. I want to start over, so I deleted all of that, and now basically the entire gist of it is I ended up rebuilding that Saturn rocket that I made. I also ended up recreating the Sputnik that I made, and I made the LEM, which is the lunar module that went up. So basically, I recreated everything I had on my old set, and I wanted to like make a music video and show you guys this shit in action, but I couldn't get a mod to work called Curb Cam, and there was another one called Camera Tools. I couldn't get any of them to work. I don't know how to install mods on KSP. It's really annoying. So if anybody out there knows how to do that, please let me know. Because I tried Google it and I couldn't work, and like the way they told me to do it just didn't work. So I was like, screw it. Which is why I didn't make the video. But that's like what I wanted to do. Oh, wow, I just realised I spent an entire episode telling you a story about a completely and utterly different game that I really, really, really wanted to play. And I think I will be playing it every Saturday from now on and be calling it Space Saturday. Or maybe a Sunday, because Space Sunday sounds a lot better. I don't know. I'll probably just do it at the weekend, because I love space. Do I have anything to add to that KSP story? I don't think so. No. Wait. No, I have absolutely nothing else to add to that story. That entire story is my entire anecdote for this episode, because this game is a very nice, slow thing to talk over, which is why I love this game so much. And they need fixing. So I'm going to take you, because you're my little fixer, add the suit, tell you to fix that, and then we'll just speed it up, and then I'll tell you to... Have you got the suit? Yep. Tell you to fix that, and we can set that up for the next time. And she's not back yet, so I can't click on it. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my little story, and I hope you do actually want to see me play some KSP, because KSP is just bonkers. Like, recreating actual missions that happened, so much fun. Recreating actual missions that happened with stupid designs, even funner, and then just randomly launching stupid shit into space because you're a fucking idiot and just want to see stupid stuff happen. Like, can you... And by the way, I actually did this with my wheelchair, changed the orbit it was doing it, and flew it into the sun. That was a bunch of fun. That's crazy stuff that I love getting up to in KSP. But thanks for coming along, guys. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and until the next time, stay awesome.